Since I'm on, might as well get to saying words. Yo, what's up, everybody? Anthony James. A special live Grindhouse podcast we're doing today. So, gonna have some fun with it. So, no, I'm streaming on YouTube, streaming on Facebook. Try to do TikTok. I ain't got enough followers yet, so it is what it is. we're gonna get it up and we'll get everything going and stuff here in a minute. Got a special guest today. So those you know, Grindhouse training. We obviously sports training, where my son trained. All so we're just we got a special camp going on in Illinois this weekend. April 11th, Illinois, April 12th in St. Louis. I'll get all dates and times and all that good stuff once we get started and all that good stuff. But before we get started, stuff ain't free. We actually got bills, and I'm getting used to that part of stuff. Definitely having sponsors, so but we definitely want to make sure that we thank we thank our sponsors all that good stuff. Chad, what's up?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Just getting started, bro. Just logging in, waiting for Sid to get in, and so we can get moving, bro. But I was letting everybody know about the camps and everything we got going on in Bloomington. So if you wanted to kind of just give us a little bit of what we got going on in Bloomington. Before I even do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let everybody know what we're doing in Bloomington. So it's go time, Grindhouse Sports Training. We're putting up on April 11th at the Performance Lab in Bloomington, Illinois. So come train with elite coaches, elevate your game, experience the energy only Grindhouse can bring. So we want to thank our sponsors, Bell and Bella, Kingdom City Boxing, Jimmy John's, Mansfield American Legion Post 650, the Sons of American Legion, American Graphics, Central Culvert and Tile, and CR Disposal. So you guys make sure you go in and lock in your spots. All athletes ages 8 to 18 at the Performance Lab. So at the grindhousesportstraining.com. So Chad, anything I missed about the weekend we got coming up, brother?
Oh, man, really excited to have it. Really excited to get back to Bloomington, kind of home turf for me. I just got a video from Timmy Dick, said that his car is up and it's running. It's got the Grindhouse podcast on it, so excited about that. Excited to get over to the Pharma City Raceway. Appreciate folks like Timmy and Hudson and Lance Speaker, the promoter of the track, coming on the podcast. So if you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. I know Anthony has worked really hard the last few weeks here to get some good content for the podcast. So we're hoping to get back over to the raceway and see some cars, see some good racing. Hopefully meet with some folks over at Dirt Vision, get going there. So I'm looking forward to it. And then getting down to St. Louis to Rittner High School on the 12th, back to Coach T's stomping grounds to get another camp in down there.
All right. I appreciate it, man. I'm just checking my. Oh. I'm just checking my live here on Facebook, seeing make sure that was going on, but for some reason I don't know. Maybe
Is it all good?
Yeah. I know it's showing up on YouTube, so I'm just making sure that Facebook is still showing up and all that good stuff as well. So if not, we're gonna record everything anyway, so we'll have everything there and all that good stuff. Let's see what else we got. And I say obviously I'll go ahead before we get Sid on here. I'll go ahead and promote his event that he has coming up on April 27th at the Boys and Girls Club in Bloomington. So got the Battle of the Midwest. Kingdom City Boxing Fitness presents Bloomington versus Peoria. It's sanctioned by the USA Boxing, and it goes down on April 27th at the Boys and Girls Club, which the address is 1615 Illinois Street in Bloomington. Doors open at 12 p.m. The first bout start at 1. Got VIP tables that are $40, ringside seats just $30, and the regular general admission is $20 for and kids 12 and under are only $5. So it's a full day of action. The one thing I didn't do for the Bloomington camp, Chad, what time are we opening up the doors for the Bloomington camp as well?
Yeah, so Coach T will be doing a private session from 3 to 4. Spaces are still open, but they're very limited. I think we only have 4 or 5 spaces left. So you can go on thegrindhousesportstraining.com on the camps link and register for that private session. And then registration will start from 4 to 5. camp from 5 to 6. We will be hanging out afterwards and talking with the kids and the parents. We got some giveaways. I know American Graphics out of Mansfield gave us some awesome stickers that we're going to be able to pass out.
Mhm.
Also, we have October 10th. We're going to be back in Bloomington for the fall camp. So those people that register for the fall camp that show up to the camp on Friday, going to enter you in a drawing for a sweet Grindhouse special one of a kind item. Coach T will
Mhm.
even sign it for you. Coach T doesn't even know what it is right now, though. He's not going to know until tomorrow.
Right.
We'll have some fun spots along the way. Also, for those of you in Texas that are turning in, we're not going to leave you out. April 24th, we'll be over at Yard Dogs in Murphy draft party. It's going to be on Thursday, the 24th. So we're going to do Bring a Friend training again. It's going to be round 2 of Bring a Friend. Once Bring a Friend's over, going to head up Restore. That's just right across the parking lot from Yard Dogs there in that Lowe's complex off 544 and Murphy Road. And we're going to have the draft party. And I think you're even going to be there doing some
Yep.
podcasting, maybe a
We're gonna
live
do.
stream.
Yeah, we're gonna live stream first part of the draft, first few picks and things like that. So I'll be there from 6:30 to 8. So we'll be live streaming. So come say what's up, and we can chop it up a little bit as well. So
Yeah, and I think we're going to have some special former NFL players coming out. We might have some local high school coaching staffs coming out. So it's going
hmm
to be a good time. You can get some refreshments there provided by Yard Dogs. Kind of catch us in a more community friendly event. So we're not at the facility, we're not training. We're just
hmm
kind of chilling, watching the draft, my favorite event of the year. And we'll see if my team doesn't mess it up, but
I
that's
mean,
yet to be determined.
they typically do. Who
I
knows?
know. I know.
All right. So I'm a pause for a minute, Chad. I'm gonna come back. I'm just checking some things out here, making sure we're good. Um, Live stream and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna come right back with the live stream, guys. Because I feel like I need to take something. Actually, it's showing up. All right, buddy. I got you, buddy. All right, appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Shane with Restore Hyper Wellness right here in Murphy, Texas. I'm proud to say we're partners with Grindhouse Sports Training just next door in Wiley. Now, Coach Washington over at Grindhouse Sports Training has done a phenomenal job at not just building out a business in the community, being a pillar in the community, but also being an inspiration to the young, talented kids that he trains each and every day. Now, last year, Coach Washington started a podcast, a Grindhouse podcast. The links are below. I encourage each and every one of you to go check this out, listen to it, like it, enjoy it. Coach Washington will walk you through his personal experiences, what motivates him, what made him what he is today, and why he's so effective at being a phenomenal leader to these young, talented individuals. Check out the podcast. We'll see you soon.
We back, y'all. So trying to get Coach Sid in here right now. So and once I do, we're gonna chop it up. we go. All right, Coach. I just sent you the link, so I know I'm trying to let you in here. So.
There we go. Can you see me?
I got you, buddy. I got you.
There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Listen, we look. Obviously, yesterday ran into a few hiccups and stuff. Nothing that needs to be discussed, but
Yeah.
we good to go, man. We good to go. How the work going today, man?
Everything's good, man. I shut down the gym for you yesterday, but we couldn't.
Can't do it twice. Can't do it twice.
Right. So
Can't
you probably
do it
gonna hear
twice.
some background noise, but it shouldn't be too loud because I told him what I'm doing. So
we are good to go, man. Because you know that honestly, we know why we're here. We know what the
For
work
sure.
is, man.
For sure.
I started to go to the gym myself and record there, but
love
I'm
it.
like, hey, you know what? Between the two of us, we wouldn't have been able to make that happen.
Yeah. So you might hear the clock go off and on, but just let me know if it get too loud. But it's good though.
We'll stop at round 1, round 2 each time if we got to do that. So
I'm cool with that.
Tell me, how long you been boxing, bro?
Well, I've been boxing since I was 5 years old. So probably like 20 plus years. I had an amateur career. I never went pro. Got into a lot of trouble growing up. So I did Golden Gloves, Silver Gloves, Power Gloves, all the national tournaments, ringside tournaments. I did it all. My granddad, Joe Bennett, him and Muhammad Ali was in the same Olympic team together in the 60s. So they trained and fought together. So that was dope. So I definitely got a little fighting background in the family. So that's my fighting background. And as far as coaching, I'll say I've been coaching for on my own, about 4 years now. 4 years on my own.
That's what's up, man. So what? Obviously, like I said, the coaching, the boxing, the fighting, obviously it's ingrained in you. Let's go ahead and just say
Sure.
that it's ingrained in you. So, what was the moment that you fell in love with it though, with the sport? Because you know a lot of people, and I'm gonna say this because I hear it so much. I don't hear it a lot. I think it needs to be said more with sports. Everybody, you know, you play basketball, you can play football. You don't play boxing.
No, you can't.
You can't.
No, you don't. You dedicate to boxing.
Exactly. So, what was that moment that you fell in love with the dedication, to the work, to all of it? You know.
When I first had my serious sparring match, my very first sparring, and I got hit in the jaw, I got hit in the mouth when I was a little kid, and it made me cry. You know what I'm saying? It made me cry, and after that, it made me more hungry, and I said, I like that. I like that. I like that intensity of getting hit in the mouth. I like the adrenaline that shot up from my legs up to my brain. I love that intensity of that adrenaline that ran up. And that's when I think I fell in love with just fighting in general, any combat sport, you know, but boxing for sure though. Yeah.
That's so dope, man. So and did you grow up in Bloomington, or did you grow up?
No, I've only been in Bloomington for about 4 years. Born in Joliet, raised in Chicago.
Okay.
So Joliet, I don't know if you know anything about Joliet, Illinois, but it's a little bit about maybe south from Chicago. It's about 30 minutes from Chicago. So that's where I was born and then raised on the west side of Chicago. So just migrating back and forth between the two. But yeah, I've only been a Bloomington guy for about 4 or 5 years now. So
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that transition been for you? Like I'm a Midwest guy through and through. I grew up in Flint, Michigan, even though I'm down in Texas right now. So, you know, that Midwest spirit, that fighting spirit, that you know, I'm not gonna like glorify it, but though that gutter spirit though. I don't care how you put it, wherever you at in the Midwest, whether you Chicago and Michigan, Indianapolis, Cleveland, you still got that spirit. I'm coming from humble beginnings. So
Sure.
tell me how has that message been received with your students there in Bloomington? Because it's not the same.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's not. It's not the same. And growing up in Chicago and coming down here to Bloomington, it was a lot more softer, very soft, because it doesn't. They don't have real boxing. They don't have real fighting. Like, it just wasn't like that out here. So I brought a different mentality, a different spirit, a different mindset here, and it was blowing their mind. Like, man, where he from? We ain't used to this, you know. But I did. I brought that humble beginning down here, and it was a crazy transition. But they loved it. You know why? Because it was something different. You get what I'm saying? It was something that they wasn't used to, and they fell in love with it too. And when I've definitely created some dogs here for sure. There's Bloomington native, you know, not people from Chicago, people right here from Bloomington, Illinois. That ain't never threw a punch before, ain't never got hit in the face, and we built them from ground up. So that's the beautiful part about it. And I think the other thing that I got blessed with is me being the only straight boxing gym here in town too. That's the other thing that I got blessed with as well. So a lot of people just gravitated towards, you know, the gym.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they tend to get into either mixed martial arts or CrossFit, and they kind of blend the two and things like that.
Yeah.
So let's just start from the beginning. Then we here, man. So
Let's do it.
tell
I'm
me
here,
how
man.
did Kingdom City boxing begin? Obviously, I know about your coaching right now.
Yeah.
How did the step one of I need this gym, this city needs this gym? How did that start?
I'm gonna actually tell you something, dog. I'm gonna tell you something that I really don't tell a lot of people. But I was done with boxing. I didn't want a boxing gym. I was done with it. I knew what the sport took. I knew the time that it takes away from family. I knew the time it takes from yourself. I was done with boxing. I didn't want no boxing gym. And I moved out here to change my life, to get my life together, to do better for myself and my family. And a lot of people found out that I was out here because, you know, they talk from, you know, it's Illinois, you know what I'm saying? So people talk like, oh, well, you know, Sid's out here. He's a real boxer, real whatever. And my guy, his name's Jared, and he owns a jiu-jitsu gym. And we got connected with one of my barbers. And we was talking, and he was like, man, you want to be a coach, you know what I'm saying, at my gym? And I'm like, no. Like, I'm done with boxing. Like, I'm still going to train myself, but I'm done with boxing. I don't want to deal with nobody's kids. I don't want to be trying to help nobody. I ain't trying to build nobody.
And I'm trying not to laugh because
it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth, dog. You know, I'm going to give you the truth, you know. And I told people, like, I said, I don't want to be bothered with nobody's kids. I don't want to help nobody. I'm trying to help myself. I'm a case right now. I am a straight case right now, and I need to help myself. I don't want to deal with people. And he said, well, you know, so it's one of my white friends. He said, well, he said, well, just get back with me. But I believe in you. Man, look, I ain't trying to hear none of that, man. So he contacted me again about a week later. Hey, man, let me know what you think. And I'm ignoring him, sending him completely off. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, I got you. He contacted me again another week later. He like, look, man, we need you. We need to do this. I said, man, I've heard that Rocky story before. I'm not trying to hear that. I've heard that. But I think finally he told me again, maybe like the third or so time. And he was like, look, man, come try it out. He was like, just try it out. Just do like a week, 2 weeks or something like that. Be a coach. Be the head boxing coach at my gym. And we'll put something together and we'll do it, go from there. And I started with him. And was you gonna ask a question? You got a question?
I was about to say, boy, that persistence get on your butt. And we go liven this up. We ain't gonna talk how this ain't gonna be no that persistence get to you because we quick to tell people no.
So dude,
because what you thinking about is what you want to do.
Exactly.
Right? And you thinking about what you feel, what you lost, or you wasn't. I'm gonna say some stuff, and you can forgive me, or we'll talk off air if you want to cuss at me later. When you like, no, I didn't have it to get to that level, so I don't really want to try to teach someone to get that level because now I'm going through that heartbreak over and over and over again. And so that persistence on your butt. But I'm saying this because I want to hear about the name Kingdom City when it comes to the persistence that I'm talking about. So how did the name come about?
And I'll take another step back. As I was making my transition down here to where I am currently, I tried to put God in the picture of everything. I'm a firm believer in Christ, man. And I tried to put God in everything. And that's when I branched off and I started doing my own thing. You know, I was still with Jared. And I said, well, you know, I need a name. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be Sid's Boxing Gym. I didn't want nothing to do with my name at all.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, man, I prayed about it. And I said, you know, Lord, give me a name. Give me a name. I want a name. I don't want it to have my name on it at all. I wanted to do it so that it glorifies you. And he gave it to me. He was like, Kingdom City.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, Kingdom City Boxing. And then here come all the visions. Here come all the how it's supposed to look and the logo. And I was like, that's it. It's Kingdom City Boxing, because what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing is for the kingdom. Everything I'm doing is for the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? It's for kingdom. It's kingdom work. So that's how the name Kingdom City came about. Legit. I got it from my father.
And it's so, like I said, we get to that and we know how faith works, man. And especially when you got the persistence of someone who is probably, and they're trying to get you to, all right, I believe in you again. And now you're having to put that into other people of a belief that they're good enough to do this and things like that. So that part there, your faith in God, you know,
Yeah,
how do
tough.
you blend that, man? Because like I say, boxing ain't pretty. Boxing
so
is
lame.
not. Boxing ain't what you're thinking about. Like, you know what? I'm my belief. You know, things like. But how does that faith help you with when it comes to coaching and teaching and things like that, bro?
How do you are you asking how do I put my faith and
Your
on them?
own spiritual growth? How do you equate that to helping you train them?
I feel like it's all related, man. Like I feel like if you let's take away boxing and we go to just spirit and God and the movement of just you being connected with God and the discipline and life trials and everything that you have to go through in life. That helped me put that in coaching and in boxing, because it's like it's life lessons. You know, you go through things even with just you in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Just you in general, like sin, just simple things. So that I feel like that helped me. Like it's the same. I feel like it was just the same thing. Like the like I said, the discipline, having faith, believing, the trials, the tests, the tribulations, the falling, the getting back up, and that helped me to be able to, I guess, be a coach, if that's answering your question, to be able to help these kids and give it back to them too, you know?
Yeah, because like I said, everybody got their ministry. If we want to put it like that,
that's exactly what it is.
you know,
That's exactly what it is, a ministry.
yeah, and that's kind of where I was trying to lead to, was like learning that this is your ministry, that this is your work, not just for yourself, but obviously having obedient service among God and things like that, where you're learning how to be obedient yourself. Because again, I'm tying it all the way back to your beginning, where it's like someone's telling you that you feel it in your spirit that you wasn't done. You just didn't know exactly where to go. So now you're being obedient to your calling, and now you're trying to get other people involved in things like that.
And I'm gonna tell you, just like that, just by you saying that, me being obedient to my calling, because I knew what my calling was, but I was running from it because I was so much self. I was so much worried about myself. I was trying to get myself right. I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to help nobody else. I wasn't worthy enough to be in this position to, like I said, help kids and bring people to God and bring people to life, because I felt like I was dealing with my own dirt, dealing with my own trauma, dealing with my own hurt myself. So you're right. In my spirit, I knew I wasn't done, and I knew what I wanted, but I'm like, no, I'm running from it. I'm running from my calling. And as you know, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Oh, look, I was gonna say, look, as we know a bunch of people in the Bible that try to run away from their call and then it worked out.
Run, bro. You can't run. Hey, the crazy thing when you think about it is just think about, like, that part where you say you're trying to fix you, and so many times we ignore everybody else because we feel like that's what we need to do in order to fix ourselves.
Exactly.
And you don't realize that you might need people in order to help you fix yourself. Like, that's the one thing, like, when I hear people say, like, oh, I gotta go find me, or I gotta go do me, and I need to do this on my own. Ain't nobody ever did much on their own, I don't know how you out here. You just out here, I gotta do it by myself.
I'm gonna tell you this. I tell people this all the time. I've been on my own since I was 13 years old, legit. I've been on my own, but I did have things that I learned from people that was in my path, people that even if they did something wrong, I learned from them. You get what I'm saying? So exactly what you said. You really didn't do everything on your own.
Listen, I come from a family that is as close knit can be.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I always wanted, I'm gonna tell my own little story here a little bit, is that
Of
you know,
course.
I had a father who was on substance, you know, did substances, things like that. And as a boy growing up, you're looking for your father's love, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And knowing that I had the love of everyone else, and realizing that as I got older that I had enough love. That I didn't need to search for the love of someone else who wasn't able to give it to me the way that I wanted it. I had enough
Yeah.
love, and really appreciating that has made me such a better man from my 30s on, compared to when I was younger than that, and I was searching for something that I wasn't going to get.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of time, and I'm bringing this back to you, where you were at a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I'm done with it, but you don't know exactly where to search for. So what for you, and obviously being in the community that you're in right now, how has that community helped you embrace? How has the community embraced you when it comes to your gym? How has it embraced you as a person too?
AJ, let me tell you something. This is probably the best decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I have never, in a million years, I would never even think that I'm even worthy enough to even be in the position that I am. The community has been so embraceful. I mean, like the community. These are Bloomington. The people that's around me now, they're Bloomington natives. They've been here all their life. They've been here years. You know what I'm saying? Not really traveled too much, and they accepted me. You know what I'm saying? They took me in, but it was a test. I ain't gonna lie, it was a test. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna get a little bit personal. I paroled here to the city, and I had to meet with the city council. And you know how that works. When you parole to the city, you got to meet with the city council, you got to meet with judges, you got to meet with, and you're in a room with like 20 people, and it's one person, it's me, my parole officer, all of them. And I sat there, and I'm sitting there, and they told me, and I think you have to have a certain amount of yeses to be able for me to come to the city. You have to have a certain amount of yeses. And they sat there, and they told me, they said, we don't want him here. They said, he going to come here, he going to terrorize the city, he going to tear this city up. It was like, no, we do not want him here. He cannot parole here. And what I told them is, I said, look, y'all give me a chance. I said, give me a chance. And I said, I'm going to change this city. I said it just like that. I said, y'all give me a chance. And they looking at me crazy. And I said, I'm going to change and I'm going to do better. And I said, I'm going to bring something different. Not even thinking about boxing, right? Not even thinking about I'm thinking about entrepreneur and just doing this business, opening it up there. I'm trying to be the uncle of the city, right? That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the uncle of the city, man. And I had just got enough yeses, which is, I think I needed 3 out of like all of them 15, 20 people. I think I only needed 3 yeses. And that's exactly what I got, was 3 yeses. I got them 3 yeses.
So yeah. I'm about to go away from the questions. I want to ask about that.
Come on.
For now, if they see what you are now, do you feel like all 15 they're giving you all 15 yeses? They see where you are right now.
Let me tell you something now. They came to my show last year. They was all at my show last year, and they told me they was proud of me, and they'll be there this year at the show this year.
And we definitely. And I brought it up a little bit early before you got on when I talked about and I'm gonna bring it up right now while we're in the middle of it, while we got people listening and all that good stuff.
I know we got a lot to talk about, so I'm here.
We do, man. Yeah, we here, man. Like I said, I know you working still too, but
no, I'm good. They'll be all right.
All right, cool. Well, like I said, I just want, and I'm just reading, bro. So, Battle of the Midwest. So, Kingdom City Boxing Fitness presents Bloomington versus Peoria. It's sanctioned by USA Boxing. It goes down April 27th at the Boys and Girls Club, 1615 Illinois Street in Bloomington. So, doors open at noon. Bouts start at 1. VIP tables are $40, ring size $30. And this, again, if you can correct me later on if we need to. General admission $20. Y'all just show up, man.
You good? Yeah.
General admission $20, and kids 12 and under are just $5. So, and it's a full day of boxing action. People who love boxing, people who love the sport, people who don't just want to go out there and support kids and support what Sid is doing. Make sure y'all get out there and show up and show out and give him the support and the love that only 3 of them saw, but all 15 giving now. So,
hey, you crazy, man.
Listen, crazy. It's all good, but listen, man, because that be the thing. Like, especially when obviously we deal with what we do here at Grindhouse. You're dealing with kids, not underprivileged kids or things like that, but you're dealing with kids who got a dream.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is that people don't usually support the dream until you've already gotten past that initial.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see the work that comes in when it's just you and the trainer, or you by yourself and you doing the running and stuff like that. They see the finished product when it comes to that. So tell me about the kids though. And that's where I kind of want to get to, like that. The kid, and what ages are you kind of starting with when it comes to your own training, and what's some things that, you know, you've kind of had to humble yourself when you think about, okay, they're just starting, because coaching and actually doing ain't the same.
No,
so,
it's not. It's
so
not. Coaching is
tell me,
very
yeah.
hard. I think the coach's job is the most hardest job. When you're a real coach, it's the hardest job. When you're a real coach and you got the passion for it, I think that's the main thing. That key word is like the passion. When you have the passion for it, it is. And I'm tough on these kids. And I'm gonna tell you this though, I had to bring myself back down to reality because I'm a guy that thinks. I'm a guy that wants better, and I'll just put so many ideas all in just one bowl. And sometimes I won't take things step by step, right? I forget the saying of you got to crawl before you walk, and I start running. I come right out of the giraffe and run. You know, this is giraffe, right? They come
Right.
right out and be
They
running
just
in
get
what
going,
10
man.
seconds. Yeah, yeah. So that's how I am. But sometimes, um, you know, the Holy Spirit kind of got to check me and just say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Remember, you got here because we took these steps, because we did the right thing. So I was accepting every kid, all ages, all sizes, and I was definitely overwhelming myself for sure. So
Yeah.
I was starting them at like 5 or 4 years old. But the issue that I was running into, especially me being like the only coach, you know what I'm saying? The issue that I was running into was having a 4-year-old in a class with a 9-year-old. You know what
Got
I'm
you.
saying? It wasn't
It
mixing.
work.
So I stopped taking them at 4. So now I take them at 8 years old. So the kids class is 8 to 13 years old. And then after that, obviously after 13, you know, they're an adult, considered adult in the class. So,
Yeah.
but the kids are phenomenal. The kids have changed 180. Kids come here, going through crazy things at school, bullying, all types of stuff, depression, suicide, and these kids come here and make a complete 180. I mean, a complete 180, man. From disobedience to respect. I mean, it's just being obedient. It's a beautiful thing, and what I would say is the turnover time. I would say is like
Yeah.
you see a turnaround time for them is like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks from being here.
Yes.
That's how quick they change, like 2-3 weeks. So it's amazing, and glory be to God for that, for sure.
All right. Let's get off the politically correct stuff right quick though.
You got
So
me.
when you think about boxing, and mainstream people, when they look at a boxer, and we just gonna say it, we're gonna call a spade a spade. They're not thinking about the emotional intelligence that it takes to become a fighter. They're not thinking about the mental development that comes to become a fighter and things like that. They're just thinking of this is just a brute who just likes to use his hands and likes violence. Just am I wrong in any way of thinking what
Yeah, yeah,
mainstream thinking would think when it comes to
yeah.
that?
They do. They think that's what it is, but it's not
Right.
though.
For a parent, because who may have a kid who's struggling, because I know you
Hmm.
brought up kids who have done a 180 and they've gone the other way and things like that. Sell me on boxing and why it's good for my kid if he's struggling with certain things.
Because people think, like you said, people think boxing is just a sport or where you're just getting hit in the face or you're getting, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, no, it saves lives. This gym and boxing in general saves lives. The discipline behind it. If you're needing your kid to be disciplined or be around a group of people that's positive, that's at a boxing gym. You get that at a boxing gym. The grounded intensity, if you're needing them to build confidence, you learn that because you're around a bunch of boxers and a bunch of kids that are doing the same exact thing. And you can't get that in karate necessarily. You can't
Right.
get that in volleyball. You can't because it's almost like a routine. You know what I'm saying? We come here, this is coach, we show up, volleyball, hit the ball, whatever. But boxing, the discipline behind it, um, the expectation that you're gonna get just even here. I'm trying not to be biased. I'm trying to speak of all boxing gyms, but it's just
No, no,
not.
we ain't
But I'm gonna
worried
speak
about that. We
about
talking
Kingdom
about
City.
yours.
Yeah,
Forget them
yeah.
gyms. We talking about your
Look, hey, look, I'm talking about Kingdom City, dog. Like, but here at my gym, you will learn confidence. You will have discipline. You will learn with faith, and you will learn who you truly are and who you truly need to be and the purpose that you have in this life. And that's what you get here at Kingdom City Boxing and Fitness. And people also look at the boxing like, oh man, it's boxing, but I have kids in here that's never sparred. They just want to be here because they're learning. Their grades are turning around. They're around positive people that's pushing and doing good. So it's not just the boxing. You get the fitness aspect of it too.
Yeah, and I think that's the part there. Obviously, like I said, that's
Did I
going to help
sell you or
kids.
what? Come on, did
You
I sell
sold me,
you or
man.
what?
Listen, I got two little ones. I don't know if my 6-year-old need to be boxing. But but my 9-year-old may need may need some sparring every now and then. But
Yeah, they need it. They need
it's
it.
just
It is.
footwork and things like that, and something to teach them. Just
Yeah.
discipline. And I think that's what I'm looking at when it comes to to be
The
a
discipline
fighter.
is
I'm not.
different.
The discipline is different. Like I
It's
got to make sure
different.
that I weigh my weight. I have to make sure that my feet. I have to make sure that my eyes are good. I need to make sure that everything matches. And everybody don't understand it. They just think that's why a lot of people. And I know like that. I have cousins who love UFC and they love boxing. They love combat sports. But you know the difference. You know that the difference between a boxer and a fighter in the UFC. They're not the same.
It's
They're not the
not.
same
Two
training.
different people.
It's two different
Heck
people,
no.
two different types of people. The
Two different.
discipline of boxing is
Everybody can fight. Everybody can box.
exactly. And so obviously, like I said, you told me the good things, you told me all the stuff, but what's been the obstacles, man? Because I know that you told me the story in the beginning, but there you had people who didn't want you there personally. But
Yeah.
what's been the obstacles for you when it came to starting your gym and getting to let's say before last year? Let's say that. What's been the biggest obstacle that you face?
What you just told me to do with your
Mm-hmm.
kids, sell. You got to sell. You got to
Mm-hmm.
make them believe that what you're doing is real because you're new here. This cities have been established years before me. So who am I? Who am I to them? You're just probably another business that's gonna be here for 6 months, a year, and be gone. So
Mm-hmm.
selling to them, and I mean I hate saying selling, but you get what I'm
It is
saying.
what it
Like,
is, man. It's still a
yeah, it is. It's
business. So you got
business. Exactly. It's business. So I had to sell to the people, like believe in me, believe what I'm doing, and believe that I'm going to build this community. Simple as
Mhm.
that. So I had to. I ain't gonna lie, that was the big just in building those relationships.
Yeah.
This city here is not about what you know, it's about who you know. So you
Mhm.
got to get connected with the right people. So it was just me going back and forth with go to this person, talk to this person, go to this person, look, man, get me to the source, please, so that I can who gonna get me to the right person so they can help me.
And they never do. They never
No,
tell
they
you.
don't.
They
You go
never do.
you go back and forth. You go back and
You
forth.
never do.
It's like somebody trying to get with us, right? They're trying to
Hmm.
connect with us, and it's two friends, but the two friends keep sending them back to each other instead of
Hmm.
them just send them to one of us. It's like that's how it was. That's how it was for me.
It is a quick. Most people got a video function on their phone. It is a quick call to say, "Hey, I got a
That's it.
guy I think you need to meet.
That's it.
He's right here with me." Instead of sending, and I think, and I'm gonna say this because of where we're from, with the cities that we're from that are mostly minority to where we both live. Me being here in Wiley, Texas, you being there in
Correct.
Bloomington, where people that look like us
Yeah.
they have to see what we do
You
first
have to.
before
Yeah.
we're able to get the help
It's
that we
tough.
need.
It's
That
tough.
we don't get the handshake business. So
So don't.
it's 10 times harder for us to get what we deserve
It is
and what we
exactly
need and what
what
we've
you
worked
worked
for.
hard for. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. You said it right, and that's exactly how I was here. Because I already came in with a chip on my shoulder. I already
Hmm.
came in the bad guy. I already came in. So, man, dude, we was boots on ground. I went door to door, and I'm talking. People just brushed me off. I kid you not. I had people that came back to me once they seen that I was serious. They came back to me and they told me I wanted to see if you were for real or not.
And that sometimes feel
I'm
like a
dead
slap in the face.
serious.
I feel like a
I'm
slap in the
dead
face too.
serious.
But think about it. They want to see if you're real about what you are passionate about doing. But
Right, and
how
I'm
does
doing something
that make
positive.
while doing
I'm doing
something?
something positive.
It is a straight slap in the
Hmm.
face because I tell you we've had people like that where we've been building from the 10 years where we started in 2015 to where we are now, where
Hmm.
if the people that we wanted help from and we wanted to work with, and if they came to try to work with us now, we're like, well, you missed that boat.
Hmm.
when
Yeah,
I needed your help at this
I've
stage.
had that. I had that, man. I've legit had that where even fighters, I've had to dismiss fighters they came in and it's like, I can't accept you now. We on a different level now. You on the you on the same stuff that you was 3-4 years ago. That's not who we are anymore. We're not bringing that. But I have had that with people where they was like, we wanted to see how serious you was. We wanted to see, and they've come back to me and supported and came back to me and helped and funded and all that. But yeah, it is. It definitely is. It's like, dang, like I'm doing something positive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So the future, because obviously you are where you are. Have you talked about? Obviously, have you thought about expanding a little bit, or are you kind of just like, know what? Let me focus on this still, because obviously anybody like us, we still always think about maybe I can go back home and do a little bit, do a little bit of work or something like that, or
Nah, I
I
ain't
can
going
move
back
to a
there.
different state. Yeah, man, believe me, I ain't either.
Nah, I ain't going back there, dog. I ain't going back there. Hey,
But
look, God Himself gonna have to pick me up and put me back there. Yeah,
like this the word. Like, well, listen. I
yeah.
don't subscribe to that. I got to. So, but places like even like let's just go say here in Texas or places like that. Have you thought about what expansion will look like for yourself in the future?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't speak too much about my next move.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thought,
If
yes.
not, we can.
No. The thought, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't let my left hand know what my right hand doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing against you, nothing against
No,
you. But
we can talk
I
off
have
this. We don't have
no,
to talk.
let's talk honest. But I have huge plans, and they're already in the making for sure.
For
They're
sure, for
already
sure,
in for sure, in the making for sure.
for
Yeah,
sure. Hey, I'm
respectfully.
all that. No, I'm good there. Like I said,
Yeah,
I never, I just, listen, I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't ask. That's just one of those
yeah.
things that
No,
you,
ask, man. I'm open,
you
dog. I'm
gotta
open.
ask.
Ask it all. Ask it all. I'm here.
I think,
But
the one
yeah,
thing you probably learned that when dealing in business is, and I know this now, is sometimes no is the answer. Okay.
yeah.
No don't mean I don't like
Straight
you. No
up.
just
It's just
mean no.
no, no. I have stuff in the making for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Expanded for sure. God has given me dreams and visions. I'll just tell you
Mm-hmm.
for Atlanta, something in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's everything's in the making. I'm just taking it step by step, and I'm making sure I'm prioritizing everything because my family's first, and my family's over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Before this box and stuff, so that's what I'm mainly focusing on now. So but yeah.
That's what's up. All right, because we getting close. I want to ask you a question, just a personal journey question. So, what's a story from the gym so far that you'll never forget that you can tell on air?
Ah, man, I got so many. Okay, bad, embarrassing. What I got so many, man. Like just like
Let's go embarrassing and then we'll go good. I don't want to focus on the bad because the bad we're gonna start with
no, we can
embarrassing and
do
then go good.
whatever. I like it. I
All right.
like conversations. I can
Well,
talk
shoot,
all night. So.
let's go all through. Let's go. What's a humbling story? We didn't go bad. What's a humbling story that you got from your beginning that you learned a lesson from that you're like, you know what? I all right, I know how I need to move, but you had to go through it.
Um,
Because that's the one thing I think when you're training kids and coaching kids, that they see that you're correcting, they see that you're going through the things and helping them, but they don't always know that other side of I've made mistakes. I know what my
yeah,
mistakes
yeah,
are,
yeah.
things like that.
Man, that's a tough question, man. I would say I would say a lesson that I've learned
Mm-hmm.
is selling myself short. If that's a good lesson in this game, in this boxing game, and just in business, selling yourself short and not knowing your self worth, not knowing that I'm worth way more and I'm offering way more than what I'm asking for. And when the people are complaining about it or something like that, it's like, you deal with it. You just kind of deal with it because you feel like you need them. But it's like, I don't need you because at the end of the day, my father provides. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's a tough lesson that I had to learn. Very tough
Yeah.
lesson I had to learn. An embarrassing moment just about the gym in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll tell you this. One of my fighters was fighting, man, and this was actually recent because I got so many.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my fighters was fighting, and I'm in the corner. I'm talking crazy. I'm screaming, yelling. I'm usually the loudest one in the dog at the tournament, and I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm talking crazy. And after the round was over, bell rung, ding, ding, ding. She comes back to her corner. I run up to the stairs. I fell in the ring. Fell completely in the
Face
ring.
first.
Man, face first. Bluetooth fell out. Look, Bluetooth fell out. Everything. I fell. I got up. My fighter looking at me. She cracking up, laughing. She like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Look, man, come on, man. Just go in there and throw the jab." Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, that was the most, I guess, the most recent embarrassing thing. But I got so many more. So many more crazy stuff. I've created amazing memories here at this gym with these fighters. We've traveled all over. I've brought these fighters all over. I've had fighters that fight with injuries, fight with the flu. Dude, I've had fighters. Man, I've had amazing stories and have changed these kids' lives. So it's awesome.
That's what's up, man. Before I get to the last question that I got, I want to make sure I get the promo because we still come April 27th, y'all. So make sure that y'all there.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
A battle of the Midwest. So Bloomington versus Peoria. So Peoria gonna find out that Bloomington got some fighters. That's what I'm getting from. April 27th at the Boys and Girls Club, 1615 Illinois Street in Bloomington. So and doors open at noon and fights start at 1. So make sure y'all show up. Make sure y'all there. So last question, man. And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier when I said, hey, how would you sell? But for any young person that's listening, anyone that's struggling with a direction, struggling with their faith, struggling with themselves, what do you want to say to them?
You are not by yourself. Get back up and fight. Surround yourself around positive people. Once again, know that you are not alone. You are human. You are not judged. We all go through mental struggles. We all go through physical struggles. Find who you are, know who you are, and let's fight, baby. Because this life is not over. Until you are 6 feet under, it's not over yet. Even when you're in a hospital and they saying you are on your last plug, it ain't over yet. I still got fight in me. So get back. That's for anybody. That's not even just the youth or the young person. That's for an adult too. The fight is not over yet. So I want you to get back up. I want you to find your purpose. I want you to believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, surround yourself around the right people, and speak up too. Speak up. Don't suppress it. Don't hold your feelings in. Speak up. Tell somebody you trust. And if it ain't nobody you can trust, go get crazy then and go scream in the clouds and talk to yourself then. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
But you're not alone. Somebody else has dealt with that exactly what you're dealing with. So don't give up. Don't give up. I don't allow people around my circle. You can't give up around me. Ain't no giving up. You can't because it's somebody else worse off than you, or somebody else is going through something. So you can't give up. You're not allowed to give up. No, until you are 6 feet under, there's no such thing as giving up. You can't give up. It's time to fight.
We gotta fight, y'all. We gotta keep fighting. Sid.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
my guy.
Y'all. I'm gonna let the rest of them go. Me and Sid gonna talk off air, man. So
yeah, we definitely
we got stuff to do.
We're gonna chop it up for sure.
We're chop it up a little bit. So for everybody else, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. My first live in a little while. So we hopefully we'll have this recorded,
we're gonna make this go viral. We're gonna keep pushing.
We're gonna push
get
this.
AJ out there for sure.
And it ain't even it's the message that needs to be said.
Absolutely.
Because so many kids they lose hope before they even have a chance to have hope.
Yeah, no.
Especially being where we're from, all you see is what you know, and it's like, what do I do? And you don't have positive people. You don't know where to go. And there's so many positive people in those cities and so many positive people in the places that you are where we are right now. That the worst thing they can say is no.
You said it right. That's the first they can say is no. And you got to tell me no to my face. I learned that from my guy. Hey, my guy told me that. He said, you got to tell me no to my face. So
you can't say no through somebody else. Come holler at me. Because let's be honest, it's hard to say no to somebody face to face.
It is. I learned that from my guy, man. I was telling him, it's my guy. Shout out to Kendrick, man. He was telling me, I was telling him, hey, I'm reaching out to these people and they ain't getting back with me. He said, well, we gonna go up there. They gotta tell me no to my face. Oh, come on, man, you doing too much, man. They gonna call the police on us, man. So listen. But yeah, shout out to my guy Ken.
It don't be crazy. Now we just talking. We'll talk off air still, but now we just talking.
For sure.
The crazy thing that comes to mind with everything that goes on, especially when you're building a business, is that when you're building from the ground up and you don't know where to start, you don't know who to talk to, and we don't know how to just communicate our message from Yeah, you can think about everything that you want. Right now, you're probably good at, all right, I want to branch out to this city, or I want to do this and stuff like that. But we don't know how to communicate that message, but we also don't know how to ask for help. And I think that's a lot. That's the hardest thing, I think, is being black for sometimes, is that asking for help is sometimes looked at as weak. So I don't even know how we can get past that part.
It's mental slavery, dog. Yeah. It's mental slavery. It's mental slavery. That's all it is. It's mental slavery that we have been told, even as men and African Americans, to you're strong. Like you gotta do this. You gotta do that. Don't ask for help. Don't cry. Yeah, don't cry. Don't do none of that. You gotta, man. No. Yeah, you do. You got to get past it. You got to ask for help. And I learned that too the hard way, asking for help. Because once I know me, I will try to do everything by myself and try to. But you got to ask for help. And like I said, the worst you can get told is no.
Yeah. But at least I know. Yeah, at least you know. And then hearing the reason why a lot of times of, hey, this is why.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I need a why too.
Sometimes
I need a why.
Right? Just tell me no. You gotta let me know. Just, hey, why are you telling me?
I like you, man. I need that. I like you. I need that. I like you.
Bro, I gotta know the why, bro.
I need that. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like you. That's how I am too. Depending on the situation, I need to know why. You ain't gonna see. You can tell. You know. Some people that know be like, okay, but some people, you gotta tell me why.
Well, especially when it's an ask that you know is not beneath what they're trying to do and things like that.
Standards, sometimes, for sure.
And when you've seen the yeses happen and you're in the same predicament, and you're like, okay, I need to know what am I not doing, or what am I not conveying that can convince you. Even if the answer is still no, give me a lesson to know exactly what I need to do better.
Exactly.
In order to make that a yes.
To get that yes, especially if you're in that position, to help me to grow, to get better, whatever I'm asking for, and I know you are one of those people, because sometimes when God closed doors, another one will open. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's not for me to get help from you, but maybe it's for you to give me knowledge and understanding for me to close this door and open up another one to help me for the next situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I need that too. And that recently happened to me too. Like, I need the help. Okay, so if it's a no here, then what next? Why is it no? And why is it that you told me no? You're this big boss sitting on this cloud. Tell me why is it a no, so that way I can help myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm humble enough to come down and be able to ask you the why, and for help. I ain't gonna kiss your butt, but I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to you and try to get help,
Yeah. And I'm hoping that more of us, especially young men, right? I'm gonna say young. I'm 41, but you know what I mean. But that are at a stage now where we can say yes to other people. You know what I mean? And I hope that we've learned that lesson of being able to pull people with us, and not just, because I think that's a hard thing to kind of teach our youth as well, is that you got to make sure you're bringing somebody with you when you're doing it. Pull somebody up. If you're getting here, pull somebody with you so you have someone that you can teach and they can bring somebody. We don't do enough of that as well. Everything's so self-serving at times, or I'm keeping this information, or my information costs money and stuff like that. That's not always the case. I've learned that in this, and even this short time of me doing podcasting, where the information is free, and some people just want to see you do well.
That's it. I learned that too. What you just said, information is free.
Yeah.
It's just like time. It's free. It's free. It's so free. So help me be free then.
Yeah.
Help me be free.
No, I can't have you doing better than me. So,
yeah, we get those. We get those all the time, man. We get those. And it's crazy, man. I have anything that I come across. I don't care if it's been legal or illegal. I'm putting you on. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Only why I can say this is because they closed now. Kmart, I was the plug at Kmart. We'll just say that. I was the plug at Kmart. I put everybody on. All right, I say that now because Kmart is closed and they can't come back and get. But either way you go. I ain't going to incriminate myself, but look, man, I just look out for everybody, man. I try to help everybody and look out for everybody, and whatever I get, whatever information I get, I try to spread it too. And that's the same thing that I had. That two people that pushed me and definitely believed in me here when I first moved here. And those people are definitely big people in my life still to this day here in Bloomington. You know what I'm saying? They help me with everything. They help me with, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know barely nothing about business. I knew a whole lot of knowledge with books, but
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing really much about business. So, but I had that person that he did. He
Yeah.
brought me. He gave me he introduced me to everybody and everything, and a lot of stuff I didn't understand. But he had me sit there and understand it. So, and I thank him for that for sure.
It's two things I think that's missing. Before we get out of here, and then me and you'll talk a little bit here.
Okay.
It's two things I really feel that are missing that we see happen. We get young people who get institutionalized, and there's no how do I put it? There's no lessons that they're actually taught while they're in those institutions. They're essentially just taught
Exactly.
how to survive, and that's it.
Exactly.
And then you get
Exactly.
in a city or in schools in those cities where they're still only taught how to survive, and that's it.
That's
There's
it.
no lessons of how to reach up and achieve just personal success and things like that. It's just, all right, you got to learn what's in the books. Well, listen, school only teach you so much,
They sure do.
and if I don't have someone where I can reach out to and learn some of those other lessons and things like that. And we didn't have a lot of those. We used to have a lot of business owners, small business owners, but
Yeah.
again, we're so humble to go, we're not humble enough to go and ask for help and ask, how are you doing this business? And then them teach us how to do it. We didn't get a lot of that. So,
and believe it or not, it's a lot of business owners out here, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've noticed that it's a lot of business owners out here that still don't even know business.
Exactly. They're just going off the seat of their pants, man. Just
because guess what? I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
People like, how you doing it? How you do? Look, I'm getting help. I don't even know what this even means. Yeah, I'm with you.
Nah, man. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Everybody else, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
For sure.
We'll see
Thank
y'all next
everybody.
time.